and live with the real person intimately, with a deep love, you are brahmachari. According to Upanishads, according to Vedas, according to our rishis, the man who doesn't have fantasies, who has dropped fantasies only, is called as a brahmachari. Not the person who has renounced the outer women, the person who has renounced the inner women. The person who don't have inner women only is called as a brahmachari. The next, there are few stubborn guys. Stubborn means what? Arrogance plus foolishness. Stubbornness is equal to arrogance plus foolishness. Some fools, they are very stubborn. No, we have not searched properly. If we search, the right person is there in the planet Earth. Somewhere is there. Let me search. They continue to search. And if they are very particular about the search never ends. It continues. See, either you drop the fantasies and accept the reality, or you stick to the fantasy, reject the reality. The second group, a small story. One guy who is 60, every day used to come to the beach for a morning walk. But he will never go for a walk. He will just sit in the bench and see the guys who are going for a walk. One of his friends asked, "Why are you coming here every day religiously, but you don't go for a walk? What's the reason?" This guy said, "Oh, I am searching for my life partner." The friend asked, "It is too late. You are already 60. What you have done when you were 30? This guy said, No, I started when I was 30. And for 30 years, what are you doing? I am searching for the perfect person. The friend said, "All right, I understand you search for a perfect person. Everybody searches for a perfect person. But 30 years is too much. 10 years, okay. 15 years, okay. But 30 is too much. You have not found even a single person who is perfect." He said, No, I found one person. Friend was curious. Then why did you miss her? What happened? Why you didn't marry her? No, she was searching for a perfect person. The search for perfection is nothing but the search for madness. The way in which you search for perfection, she will be searching. So naturally, when you think it is going to match, there is a third group. The first group is intelligent. Second group is total fools. The third group, middle level fools. The third group, what it does, after searching few years, they are ready to compromise. Now they are ready to compromise. When you unconsciously prepare yourself to compromise, when you see somebody from a long distance, you feel your hero has come. If you are totally clear, conscious about that I am not going to compromise, then there is no problem. You will reject the reality. You will be searching till 60 or 70 or even after the graveyard. After going to the tomb, you will be sitting on the tomb and watching the people who are coming every day to the graveyard. And you will try to search some dead person. I don't think even there you will find the fulfillment. That is different. Forget, you see, the first group also has no problem. Second group also has no problem. The third group, that only creates problem. The third group, somehow, when they are ready to compromise, when they see somebody from a long distance, according to their fantasy, if they are fantasized with the black jeans, if they see a person with the black jeans, immediately they think their hero is here. Their heroine is here. The moment you think that your hero is here or your heroine is here, something happens. That is what we call falling in love. You should understand the word falling in love, not raising in love. Falling in love. The very word is very meaningful. One guy fell from the third floor, broken his back, and he is lying. One of his friends rushed to help him and asked, "Oh, did the falling hurt you?" The guy said, No, falling has never hurt me. Only sudden stopping has hurt me." So when you fall in love, you will never feel hurt. Things will go really beautiful. Just imagine, if you are just falling without anything to stop you, will you feel hurt? Will you be hurt? No. You will be just floating. So beautiful. You will be just flying. So when you actually fall in love, you don't feel hurt. Only when you touch the ground reality. Only when you face the ground reality, the whole scene changes. If you are just falling, what it happens? You are floating. You are floating, no problem. Things go really grand. You feel you are as if you are flying. That is why the people who fall in love, they feel they are flying. Almost all movies, in all cultures, the falling in love scene is shown as if they are flying. The flying and the falling is always associated. You can see almost in every culture, the movies, how they show the scene of falling in love. The immediate next scene will be just floating on the air. Some fantasy. You feel you are flying, you are floating, as long as you hit the ground reality. If the height of the fantasies, if it is too much, then the falling time is also too much. Then the damage also too much. If the height of fantasies is less, falling time is also less. The damage is also less. Anyhow, the moment you reach the ground, you understand the reality. See, as long as you meet only 1 hour per day, things go really smooth. No problem happens. There is a beautiful story, novel by Rabindranath Tagore. It is called Eternal Lovers. He says the hero and heroine of the novel, they fell in love with each other. They have decided to live in the two banks of Ganga. This side one person and that side one person. Only once in a week, they will come in 2 boats, sit in their own boats, meet with each other, talk to each other, share some time and go back. Naturally, you will think what kind of love it is, what foolishness, what for they should love each other. But Tagore writes, living like this, they became eternal lovers. When I read, I was not able to understand, how can a person become eternal lover living like this? Later on, when I read the stories of the eternal lovers, then I understood. The whole world lists the eternal lovers' names: Romeo, Juliet, Laila, Majnu, Devadas, Parvati, Ambigavati, Amaravati. Any more names? Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve. No, Adam and Eve are not called as eternal lovers. Siri? Okay, I do not know about him.
Laila Majnu.
Laila Majnu. Anyhow, all these guys you see, they never live together. They never live together. Because 1 week if you live together, then the whole love will come to reality. Actually, it is nothing but 1 week missing. Only 1 week living together is more than enough to show the reality. Both the guys, they lived only in the fantasies. Laila had enough of her fantasies, Majnu had enough of his fantasies. He never understood the realities of fantasies. She never had the chance to see the reality of fantasy. See, every day 1 hour, she can act as you want. You can act as you want. It's not a big job. As long as things are moving only 1 hour, that's no problem. I read internet joke, net joke, a love letter. The guy is writing, "Oh my beloved, I will make the sky as a bow and rivers as the arrow and pluck the moon as a fruit and bring it to you as a present." This is a poem. Below there is a footnote. "I will come and meet you on Friday if there is no rain." If there is no rain. The poem says, "I will make the sky as a bow, rivers as arrow, and pluck the moon as a fruit and bring it to you as a present." The footnote says, "I will come and meet you on Friday if there is no rain." Of course, this is not our reality. The poem is totally different and reality is totally different. The fantasy is totally different and reality is totally different. By the time you reach the ground, face the ground, what happens? Honeymoon ends. By the time you understand the fantasies are fantasies, what honeymoon ends? Again that word is beautiful word. Honeymoon, not honey sun. How long a moon will stay? How long a moon stays?
As long as night's there.
No. 14 days.
Okay.
15 days.
Okay.
Maximum 16th day over. So the same emotion which stays only for 16 days, that is why it is named as a honeymoon. Anyhow, by the time honeymoon ends, you come to an understanding. The fantasies are fantasies. At least if you come to an understanding at this time, okay, you become a good householder, a good grihastha. At least next life, after that, you start living, accepting the other person as he is or as she is, accepting the reality. But most of us, we don't even accept the reality even at that time. Even after the honeymoon, you are not ready to accept the reality. A small story about this before and after honeymoon. The guy presented to his friend as a wedding gift a new puppy dog. After 3 months, he goes to his friend and asks, "What is the difference you find in your life? What great changes you have found?" The guy who got married, he says, "Oh, nothing much, only one change." "What's the change?" "When you presented the puppy, every day she used to bark at me and my wife used to bring newspaper. Now your puppy brings newspaper, she barks at me." Only a small change, nothing much. When you newly got married, your puppy used to bark at me and she used to bring newspaper. Now every day morning, puppy brings newspaper, she barks. Of course, when you face the reality, at least at this point, if you understand fantasies are fantasies and reality is reality, you start living a real householder life, a real grihastha life. But most of us don't even understand at this point. What we do next? Next work is chiseling the other. You take up a chisel and a hammer and start chiseling her as you wanted. And she takes up one more chisel and the hammer and she starts chiseling you as she wanted. From morning till night, the one and only work which happens in our house is tuck, 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 tuck. And she starts tuck, 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 tuck. The person who creates more sound, he wins. The person who can create more sound, he wins the game. Your capacity to create sound gives you the success. And I always tell people, nowadays in the marriages, instead of giving Mangal Sutra, we should give one chisel and the hammer. Let you have one chisel and the hammer. Let you have one more chisel and the hammer. Start. Tuck, 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 tuck. See, if you chisel a stone, you can make a statue and keep where you want. If you chisel a wood, you can make a furniture item and keep where you want. But if you chisel a person, what will happen? What will happen? Only blood and pain. Of course, we don't understand how much psychologically we torture the other, how much of emotional pains we create for the others by chiseling the other, by entering into the other's space. Many people come and tell me, Swamiji, so much of terrorism, what should we do about it? Should we not do something about it? I tell them, are you fools? First, bother about the domestic violence. We don't bother about this domestic violence. We bother so much about the violence or terrorism which is happening in the country, which you can't do anything. Can you do anything about that? No. Nothing can be done. At least from our hands, nothing is there. You see, when you can't do anything about something, you continue to speak about that. Because you can always blame somebody else. When you have got some stuff which you can do, you never speak about that because you will be asked to do. I have seen many guys, oh, I love the whole world, Swamiji. I never think harm for anybody. Whole world, I love the whole world. There is nobody like me. Loving the whole world is very easy. Loving the wife is very difficult. Loving the whole world is very easy because you can just tell there is nothing to be done. Huh? What are you telling?
No, it's just you have to stay.
That's all. There is nothing to be done. It's almost like only one of the dream, one of the word. There is nothing to be done. But when you say, I love my wife, you have to change your attitude. You have to change your life. So, anything which has no direct context in your life, you continue to speak. You continue to speak. You can see always people talking about weather because they can't do anything about it. Always blaming the weather. There is a beautiful saying, man as a rule is a fool, asking for hot when it is cool, asking for cool when it is hot, always asking which is not. It's a truth. People always blame the weather. Why? If it is raining, they will blame, oh, it is raining, today is rainy day. If it is shining, again, oh, today is too much of sun, it is burning, what is happening? Always they blame the weather because they don't have to do anything about it. Whatever you can't or you don't do, you start speaking. And the loving the whole world is also nothing but this type of talks. Loving the wife is the real difficulty. I have seen the people who have lived together for 30 years. In India, the problem is you can't go for divorce so easily. I have seen the people who lived even 30 years together. Even after 30 years, the husband do not know what wife wants. And the wife do not know what husband wants. When this type of couples come to me, I bless them. You will not go to hell after death. Why? And even if you go, you won't find much difference. Don't bother. You will not find a big difference. We always think, Swamiji, you are exaggerating a little too much. I am not so bad. We are also a little bit, but we are not so bad. Not so bad means where is the scale? Tell me. Where is the scale? No. Nowhere there is a scale. We always think, I am not so bad, Swamiji. I don't change her totally, but just the final touch. Which she needs, Swamiji. After all, if I don't train, who will train her? Only I should train her. After all, I am the husband, I should train her. Just a final touch, Swamiji. One thing, people come and tell me, Swamiji, I love her, only I have to train. That is why I tell her. Otherwise, how to tell? Who can tell? Please be very clear. Never say you love your wife. You love your imagination about wife. That is why you change the real wife. Two things. One is your imagination and another one is reality. If you love the real wife, will you change the imagination? If you love the real wife, you will change the imagination. You will not change the real person. But you change the real wife because you love the imagination. All your love is towards your imagination. That is why you change the reality. And you always ask for excuse. No, Swamiji, just final touch. Just the final chiseling. The final touch never ends till the till you reach graveyard. The final touch never ends till you reach graveyard. Even after reaching the graveyard, if our graveyard is next to you, then gone. I don't know what you will be doing. Anyhow, all our final touch, all our chiseling, all our hammering is nothing but the outcome of these imaginations and projections.